Hi, today we are going to continue our lesson on sets, and our topic for today is finding square roots using repeated subtraction methods. So whenever a particular square root is given and then you are asked to simplify or find the answer, there are several methods. Today, we are going to learn how to find these roots using the repeated subtraction method. What does it mean when we say repeated subtraction? So, in using this particular method, we'll first of all have to recall what all our odd numbers are. So, now odd numbers. What are odd numbers? Can you remember what odd numbers are? Back at our junior high school, we learned that odd numbers are basically numbers that are not divisible by 2. In other words, they are basically numbers when we divide them by 2, they give us a decimal and not a whole number. So any number which when you divide it by 2 give you a decimal happens to be an odd number. And examples of odd numbers include 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and etc. These are some of the examples of odd numbers. Any number that is not divisible by 2. When you take 1 divided by 2 will give you 0.5. It gives you a decimal. 3 divided by 2 will also give you a decimal. 5 divided by 2 will also give you a decimal. So any number which when you divide it by 2 gives you a decimal is an odd number. Now we are going to be using these numbers to simplify any given rules, especially for perfect squares. For example, find square root of 25. Now we are going to find the square root of 25 using the repeated subtraction method. So in this method, the first step we are going to take is to take our number in the square root, which is 25. Now we are going to be subtracting the odd numbers successively. So when you look at our odd number, it starts from 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, in that order. So the first step we need to take is take the number in the root, which is 25, minus our first odd number, which is 1. Then the answer will give us 24. That is the first step. Then we take the answer that we've gotten, which is 24, minus the second odd number. We are doing what? Successfully. The first one, the second one, third, in that order. So 24 minus the second one is 3, which is equals to 21. We take our answer again, which is 21 minus. Now we are in the third subtraction. Now we take a look at our third odd number, which happens to be 5. So 21 minus 5 is equals to 16. We will continue to take our 16 is equals to 16 minus the next odd number, which is 7, equals to 9, which is equals to 9. Now we take our answer here, which is 9, minus then our next odd number is 9, which is equals to 0. Now when you keep on subtracting and your answer you finally had your answer as 0, then you stop there. Now, this is what the repeated subtraction is. You take a number in the root, subtract the first odd number, take the answer, subtract the second odd number from it, take the answer, subtract the third odd number out of it, take the answer, the fourth, the answer, the fifth, in that order, until your answer is 0. Until your answer is 0. Now, when you finally get your answer as 0, now how do we now deduce the square root of 25 out of this particular illustration? Now, we are going to count the number of times we did the subtraction. So, this is our first subtraction, our second subtraction, our third subtraction, this one is our fourth, and this one is our fifth subtraction. So the number of times you did the subtraction will be equals to the square root of that particular given number. So in our example here, square root of 25 will be equal to the number of subtraction that we did. And the number of subtraction is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we can see, therefore, root 25 is equals to 5. As simple as that.